I'm Isis Romero, and this is the news in San Antonio. The Bexar County Medical Examiner has issued a cause of death for the man involved in a fiery standoff earlier this week. 54-year-old Michael Anthony Gallegos died on Monday. The medical examiner now says he died from thermal injuries and smoke inhalation. Firefighters were delayed in putting out the fire at his home because they were told Gallegos had a gun. Police were at the home for a gun disturbance just a few hours earlier. The cause is still under investigation. The San Antonio community is reacting to the shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas. Reporter Zach Briggs checked out our local immigration facilities and spoke with a pastor about fear in the migrant community.
It's a terrible tragedy. We grieve any violence that happens, obviously, in our community.
One ICE detainee dead while two others are fighting for their life. This morning's shooting outside a Dallas ICE facility, reigniting fear among migrants here in San Antonio.
Many of the members of my community say they feel like they're being treated like animals. They feel like they're being hunted.
Diane Garcia is the pastor of a church which serves as a refuge for immigrants from around the world.
I think what we're seeing with the deaths in the detention center, with the deaths at the facility this morning, is the product of the dehumanization in general and in our community that's affecting our community.
Lulac echoing her sentiments, saying in part, quote, "This tragedy shows what happens when anger overtakes reason. No family should suffer such pain." And today, no obvious sign of increased law enforcement presence at the Northeast Side ICE check-in office, and it was a similar scene at Immigration Court downtown. Meantime, while the investigation continues into what happened in Dallas, including trying to figure out the shooter's motive, Garcia is praying for peace.
I pray that there would be ways to make connections with one another and to open lines of communication and listening, to have people be seen as whole people.
Zach Briggs, KENS 5.
The man accused of killing Las Palapas founder Ron Acosta has been indicted for murder. Acosta's body was found inside his Stone Oak home on July 1st. Meredith Haas explains where the case stands now.
Over 2 months after he was stabbed and killed, Acosta's nephew David Ruiz will have to face that charge of murder in court after that decision came down Tuesday.
Investigators say Ruiz had traveled from California to San Antonio and was staying with family. On July 1st, arrest records show Acosta invited Ruiz to his house on Riata Trail. That same day, authorities say Ruiz turned on his uncle, stabbing the well-known restaurateur multiple times and leaving him to die on his garage floor. Ruiz took off, but was caught hours later during a traffic stop on Kimball County Highway. Deputies believe he was trying to escape Texas. Ruiz was extradited back to Bexar County, where he remains jailed on a $250,000 bond. Following the indictment, we reached out to family but have yet to hear back. Back in July, the family sent KENS 5 this statement in part, quote, "We are outraged by the failures of the legal system in Bexar County, Texas, and are shocked that an individual from California could cross state lines, travel across the country to Texas, commit the brutal murder of our father, and then be granted release on bail set at an amount that does not reflect the severity of this crime or the profound loss we have suffered."
Updates on this case will be on our website at KENS5.com. Reporting outside the Bexar County Courthouse, Meredith Haas, KENS 5.
A man is behind bars accused of making threats on social media about a vigil planned for conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Police say the 19-year-old posted the threatening comments on Facebook. Vanessa Croy has the story.
According to an arrest warrant, the suspect admitted to police that he made those comments, even telling detectives he was just clowning around. But police didn't find it funny and took his words seriously. And now the 19-year-old man is behind bars facing a serious charge. According to an arrest warrant, police first learned about the comments on September 15th, just hours before a planned vigil for Charlie Kirk at UTSA's main campus. The post appeared on the San Antonio Young Republicans Facebook page, the group organizing the vigil. According to the arrest warrant, 19-year-old Zaylin Dunbar responded to the thread with a chilling message saying, quote, "I'm going to make sure this won't be a good or comforting vigil. Y'all watch and see." Police say the threats didn't stop there. Dunbar then alluded to using a Ford F-250 as a weapon. He goes on to say, "I wouldn't advise trying to stop a Ford F-250 diesel truck. Show y'all how much Charlie really means." is according to an arrest warrant. Later that same day, police showed up at Dunbar's home. Officers say he then admitted to writing the comments, telling them he thought it was just a joke. But detectives say he also acknowledged the posts could be perceived as threats. And when asked if it was worth it, Dunbar told detectives, "I did what I did and can take the consequences." The vigil went on as planned, but Dunbar is now facing a terroristic threat charge. Dunbar is still in jail this morning after being arrested by UTSA police. He's being held on a $40,000 bond. Vanessa Croy, KENS 5.
Camp Mystic is set to reopen next summer after the deadly July 4th flooding. 27 campers and counselors lost their lives. Owners sent out notifications on Monday announcing a number of rebuilding projects underway for next summer's reopening. Camp Mystic leaders said they're implementing new safety protocols, including moving cabins away from dangerous floodplains. The camp also said that it will build a memorial to those killed in the flooding. Kerrville city leaders approved a nearly 8% increase in property taxes. Earl Stoudemire breaks down the increase and why they did it.
Since Kerrville was issued a disaster declaration, the city used state law to measure property taxes on a different scale that didn't require voter approval. Now Kerrville city leaders have been going back and forth for the past few months on what to do because the typical 3.5% increase on property taxes would only bring the city a little more than $330,000. If they did this, one council member said they wouldn't be able to maintain the general fund account for infrastructure and general needs in the city. With the 8% increase, homeowners would be paying an average of $72 more a year, and many spoke out against the change.
The rub from the citizen standpoint is seeing a leader vote to put a burden on us that they aren't sharing themselves. I'm challenging you to back up what you're asking us to do by donating.
And right now this tax increase is basically a gut punch to the flood victims in the city.
For these taxes, property homeowners affected by the Hill Country floods have until October 20th to file a disaster exemption. Earl Stoudemire, KENS 5.
And that's the news in San Antonio.